Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to bring you some breaking news regarding Gaza and the Palestinians. So the latest news we got here is that supposedly the United States, well, they've been dropping aid into Gaza, right? They've been using giant aircraft, I think they're like these C-17s, and using military aircraft to airdrop meals and supplies into the Gaza Strip because the Palestinians there have been having trouble getting aid through the trucks that are coming in. A lot of the trucks have been blockaded or they get raided, okay, by Hamas or whatever it might be. So many of the people there are not getting the aid that they need. So the U.S. decided to start airdropping supplies like you see here. And they use these parachutes and drop these giant pallets of supplies into the Gaza Strip. Well, we just got reports here that supposedly 5 people were killed by some of these airdrops. And also, we had like 10 as well that were injured. So let's talk about this. I got a few other things we're going to go over as well. So it says here on CNN at least 5 killed after airdropped aid falls on them in Gaza. So these things got to be very heavy, right? Because it's a giant pallet of, it's probably, who knows, thousands of pounds. And if one of these fall on you, it could crush you. And that's probably exactly what happened here. So it says at least 5 people were killed and 10 others injured when airdropped aid packages fell on them in the Al Shati camp west of Gaza City. According to a journalist on the scene, Kader Al Zanoun told CNN he witnessed the aid packages falling from planes over the Al Shati camp on Friday, but cannot confirm which nation was behind the airdrop. Muhammad Al Sheikh, head of emergency care department at Al Shifa Medical Complex in Gaza City, confirmed 5 people were killed in the incident. Very terrible that they're just trying to get aid in there, and unfortunately, some of these people weren't paying attention probably when the airdrops came in, and they probably just fell on them, and unfortunately, they died to this. And it's terrible that that happened, but I mean, at the same time, how else are they supposed to get supplies in there? Well, uh, Biden has this amazing idea. Apparently, he announced this during the State of the Union address yesterday to the United States. So he announced here that it says Biden is on Politico, by the way, but Biden to order U.S. military to construct port in Gaza to increase aid flow. So they want to build a port in the water, just in the beach, to bring in ships and allow aid to come in a lot quicker and more efficiently, apparently, instead of these airdrops. So apparently these airdrops too have not been as effective. They haven't been able to supply as much aid as they would like. They'd have to be doing, drops after drops of runs every day, bringing aid in because there's just so many people. There's hundreds of thousands, if not in the millions, that need this aid. So he said here, we're not planning for this to be an operation that would require U.S. boots on the ground, said a senior administration official. During a State of the Union address, President Joe Biden will order the U.S. military to establish a temporary port in Gaza so more humanitarian aid can get to Palestinians in need, 3 senior administration officials said Thursday. The U.S. military has unique capabilities that allow it to construct a port or causeway without having to send forces to Gaza's shores, said one of the officials. We're not planning for this to be an operation that would require U.S. boots on the ground, said a second one. All were granted anonymity to preview the president's announcement. So that's what they plan to do here. They plan to build a port, a temporary port, so that way they can bring in aid via ships. Okay, they'd be able to bring in much more aid if they use ships versus airdrops. And obviously, these airdrops are very dangerous, as you can see here. I remember seeing this video that you see on your screen where all these people were just running to the aid while all these packages, these aid packages were coming in. And I was thinking, wow, I would just stay back, wait for them to drop, and then go get them. But people were just running over to them, and they hadn't even landed yet. And obviously, they're very desperate in need. They need supplies over there. So I want to talk about one last incident. This is an update to one of my videos I did in the last week or two, where there was a aid truck that was coming into Gaza. I think it was in Rafah, and while this aid truck was coming in, it got swarmed by a bunch of Palestinians. And supposedly the story was that the IDF started opening fire because they were somehow feeling threatened. I guess they were being attacked or something like that happened. And the IDF opened fire. And apparently there was like 100 people that or more that were killed in this incident. Okay, so there was some sort of threat and they were trying to neutralize the threat. Well, there's more information that's coming out according to CNN here. It says IDF says troops fired at suspects. They were saying suspects. We don't know what those suspects were in deadly food aid incident, but denies targeting convoys. So apparently they didn't target the people that were surrounding the truck, although there were many innocent people that were killed. I'm assuming tens or dozens, if not hundreds, of these people that were actually wounded or killed were just innocent Palestinians trying to get aid from the truck, from what we know. So it says here, Israel's military has said its investigation into the deadly humanitarian aid incident in Gaza's last month found Israeli troops did not fire at the convoy, but at a number of suspects who approached and posed a threat to nearby forces, a conclusion swiftly rejected by Palestinian authorities. So that's what they're claiming. The Palestinian authorities are saying, no, you guys just fired on these innocent people. But the IDF is claiming that they weren't targeting the innocent people, the innocent bystanders. They were targeting these suspects. They don't say what it was. I don't know if these were Hamas. Maybe they weren't dressed up, but maybe they thought they were Hamas, members. So they were trying to take them out. I'm not sure what happened here, but more than 100 people were killed in the incident in northern Gaza, which has become known as the Flower Massacre, as Israeli troops opened fire near civilians gathering around food aid trucks, triggering panic. A local journalist in Gaza, Kader al-Zanaun, who was at the scene and witnessed the incident, said at the time that the chaos and confusion only began once Israeli troops opened fire, and that many of the victims were run over by trucks in the ensuing panic. The Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza said at least 118 people were killed and more than 700 were injured, making it one of the deadliest incidents since the war in Gaza began. CNN cannot independently confirm the figure. So, yeah, somewhere around 118 people were killed, 700 were injured just in this one event. So, majority of it was gunfire too, because there was reports from the Al-Shifa hospital that took in many of these people that majority of them had gunshot wounds. Okay, so the command review found that the IDF troops did not fire at the humanitarian convoy, but did fire at a number of suspects who approached the nearby forces and posed a threat to them, the IDF said in a summary of the report released Friday. So here's a picture right here of a truck. I don't think this was the one that was fired upon, but yeah, this did happen not that long ago, just within the last month. I say the last couple weeks, I believe, is when I reported on this. But the last bit here says, the IDF says that thousands of Palestinians swarmed the aid trucks, which were traveling towards distribution centers, looting the trucks' equipment. They added that incidents of significant harm occurred to civilians from a stampede and being run over by trucks. So many people were also run over too, not just shot. Very horrible. The IDF said during the crowding, dozens of Palestinians advanced towards nearby IDF troops up to several meters from them and thereby posed a real threat to the forces at that point. They probably told them to back up or something, and maybe these people were just so desperate. Maybe they were upset that maybe the IDF was telling them to back off when all these people are trying to raid this truck and get the food because they're probably starving, they're hungry, okay? And they're probably just trying to get whatever they can, and maybe the IDF was trying to maintain order to make sure that this aid was distributed evenly, and maybe it got to where it needed to be, and maybe because it got swarmed and there were so many people, that's why they opened fire. But supposedly, according to the IDF, it's because there were suspects. They're claiming suspects made them open fire. At this stage, the forces fired cautionary fire in order to distance the suspects as the suspects continued to advance towards them. The troops fired precisely toward a number of suspects to remove the threat, the IDF summary said. So there it is right there. The troops fired precisely toward a number of suspects to remove the threat. So yeah, things are still pretty crazy over here. I just wanted to give you an update on the Gaza civilians there, the Palestinians that are living there, because I have done a few updates on what's going on with them down there, but I feel like I haven't done enough. And I want everybody to know, at least from my understanding and the information that I get, what's going on over there on the ground, and these poor people that need aid, and they're not getting it right now. So hopefully, when this port opens up, these people are able to get the aid that they need, because we've had lots of reports that many of the kids are malnourished, and many people are dying of starvation over there, and also from dehydration. Okay, and these people barely have anywhere to live. Most of the buildings that are bombed to oblivion and destroyed. And we're just days away here. We're about 4 or 5 days away from the Rafah invasion, the most southern city in Gaza, where the IDF is supposedly going to be moving in and engaging Hamas down there as well. So things are going to start to get crazy over here the next couple days. I'll be doing a lot of videos coming out from Gaza to keep you informed and let you know what's going on down here. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Everybody take care and God bless. We'll see you in the next one.